Back in central Illinois, Rivian has partnered with the town of Normal to install battery energy storage systems. At last night's planning commission for the town of Normal, the board voted to amend its zoning law to establish regulations specific to battery storage systems. They store energy until it is needed. The new approved regulations include concerns addressing aesthetics, noise, safety protocols, lighting, limiting the height of the modules, and creating a 400 feet setback from occupied structures on non-participating properties.
Rivian asked us about doing some battery energy storage out at their plant because they have batteries for one thing, and they also have a lot of energy needs. And so for them, I think it's an operational issue, and it's also a way to continue to innovate with battery technology and perhaps see what can be done with batteries in their different stages of life.
The battery systems will be restricted to the industrial corridors of Normal. It will be back before the town council on June 15th for a vote.